Welcome to Garage Cells Unhinged.
where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
Jake, you've mentioned before, and before we even started recording, you mentioned it again because you just won't let it go that you're partially deaf.
Yeah.
So, I feel like you're beating the disability horse. It's dead. But you just keep beating it over and over. This is going to get real weird.
Yeah, I think please go on. Go on talking to somebody with a disability about how they need to get over it.
Yeah, get over it. So, but you've had a hearing impairment since we were kids. Like you were
Yeah.
born with this, which I can't fathom because you do really good impersonations of like definitely all the Simpsons characters, but like you watch a movie once and you can impersonate them like whoever was on the screen. And I'm like, first of all, kudos. That's a fun party trick. Second of all, if you could hear them, how come you didn't hear me ask you about that other thing the other day? And I'm like,
So
is it selective hearing or like, do you really have a hearing issue?
it's nerve related. So I hear voices, but I don't hear words. Which like in most situations, if there's a lot of competing noise, a lot of atmospheric stuff, man, I can hear the tone, but the words being decipherable kind of come and go. So I'll hear voices, but not words. Now, but how are we doing a podcast? Well, there's no competing sound. So it's much easier, though I've got my laptop cranked to the max. I've tried doing this thing with headphones in, and it messes up the audio recording part. So it's a legit deal. It's been tested and all the other stuff. I don't want to do the cochlear implant thing. And surely hearing aids have advanced since I last looked into them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of times you're faking it in conversations. People say things and you're like, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or they say things, you're like, no. And you have no idea. And at some point, these exchanges are so they're transactional at best. And so you just you realize you can get by without really knowing what anybody's saying. But I'm learning that there's people will often communicate to you in ways that are kind of like beyond their words. And as long as you're kind of keyed into that, then,
I need to practice on doing different like hand movements that have nothing to do with what's coming out of my mouth to see if I can throw you off.
yeah.
Also, for most people, just so our listeners know, for most people, whenever they say they hear voices, that requires medication.
Right.
Jacob's already seeing a specialist for this issue, so no need to call any kind of authority on Jacob. So,
Not for this reason, but yeah.
oh yeah, there's plenty of other reasons. So Jake, today I wanted to talk about music. So I'm going to ask you. You work out. Whenever you're working out, do you listen to music?
All the time. Yes. Like everybody does. You realize how quiet a gym is? Honestly, like you take your headphones off or your earbuds or whatever out, and it's like really quiet.
Oh yeah. And it's also like really alarming whenever people are actually having a conversation and I'm like, what's going on? Is there
Yeah,
emergency?
totally.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Now, I will say I was one time working out with a trainer. Whenever I'm working with a trainer, we talk, we shoot the poop all the time. And like, it's usually I'm cussing them out because they're making me do things that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But we were over at at the weights doing whatever exercise. And we, at the same time, we heard a lady by us because a lot of times people are wearing headphones while working out.
Mhm.
Well, even if you were to have a conversation, no one's listening because everyone's listening to their own music or story or on the phone call, whatever. but we heard this lady on a phone talk like the sentence that came out of her mouth was, "Well, then why are you in bed with him?"
Wow.
My trainer and I, we looked at each other at the same time and we had been like just, jabbering the entire time that we were together. We looked at each other and without saying a word, we knew don't say another thing for the next 5 minutes because we got to listen to this one sided conversation. And so, like, we're counting the reps. She's telling me what to do, but we're not saying anything else so that we can hear this lady's phone conversation behind us.
I
But
like that you're like over there like dropping the weights on your toes and stuff like that. She's like, yeah, it's okay. Just
yeah, be, be quiet. We're about to get the lottery numbers. Like, I mean, hey, if there's going to be some tea, there's going to be some good gossip. We want to be on the front lines of listening to it. Um, all that to say, whenever you're working out at the gym, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
everybody's got their playlist or something, right?
Yeah,
Like whether you're at the gym or doing whatever, if you use these things, you've got all your playlists.
yeah,
And I usually listen to one that I just called current, and it's whatever I just throw on there at the time. Things cycle on and off. Like a lot of playlists, it kind of balloons. You add more things to it than you take things off of it. But so there's some upbeat stuff and there's some laid back stuff. There's a lot of lo-fi hip hop. There's weird crap. If I were to pull it up and tell you, you wouldn't know any of the artists because I'm cool. Um,
sure. We'll go with that.
yeah, there's like wavy tapes and dated and oh, Fila Brasilia and yeah, like
So we're gonna say that
most stuff you wouldn't know. Stuff you wouldn't know. Doesn't matter.
most of your weird music, would you say it's more upbeat, like fast tempo type things?
No,
You do a slow tempo workout?
no. I, I mean, I flail around like everybody else. I, you flail around and you make your weird noises, but I don't think the music is matching the intensity. And I don't know. That's how it is.
Yeah, well, you ruined my whole story for today. Because and I know I've mentioned it before, but I do wanna talk about music whenever people are shopping. And this is something again, if someone's hosting their own garage sale, yard sale, whatever, you can play music in your yard, in your
Mhm.
garage that matches what your audience wants to hear to help them buy more.
So kind of audio branding kind of thing, kind of get people in the mood to spend some money.
Yeah, it builds the environment for what people wanna do with it, and I found some research on music whenever and a lot of it's gonna be in the retail space, but again, the retail space, you're trying to sell stuff. You want people to buy things, and so you equate this to your generic garage sale, or you know what? Actually, estate sale too, because here's the thing, if you wanna build the environment and attract the type of buyer that you want buying your stuff, you can set an environment that encourages them to purchase and encourages them to look around more.
So what is
So,
there science behind this? There's like a certain kind of music that does that?
yes.
Oh,
So there is science behind it. One study did, there was a store that was playing slower music. Whenever they changed the music to more of a faster tempo music, no, sorry, got that wrong. They were playing faster tempo music. Whenever they played slower music, they had a 38% increase in sales.
interesting. Like, do they have like examples? Like they were starting off with Prodigy and they flipped over to like Billy Ocean or something. What did they do?
Well, I'm gonna get into that in a second,
Ooh,
but
okay. Right.
what slower music does is that it causes people to slow down physically, and it also causes them so whenever you're slowing down and you're not rushing through a store, you linger longer. You may find something on a lower shelf, a higher shelf that you weren't paying attention to before. Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit GarageSaleSupply.com and make your next sale a success. And so Do you know the term Muzak?
I love the term Muzak.
Do you want to
It's like
explain
the
to
stuff you'd
people what
hear
it is?
on hold or
Yes.
in an elevator. Yeah.
Yes. So Muzak was a business. It was started in 1930s, back in the 1900s, not 19th century. Back in the 1900s, this business was created. It is it's no longer around. Muzak is now kind of like whenever we say, "Hey, I have to go Xerox something," it's one of those types of terms of it was a brand, but now it's kind of like
Okay, it's become genericized. Yeah.
yes. And Muzak, and I was listening to it before we got started on this recording, but you can actually go to YouTube and listen to hours of music. And so when you ask like, "Oh, do people play like, you know, a popular song versus a hip hop song or something like that?" For companies, if you decide that you want to say, "Hey, I'm a general manager of a store. I built a bomb playlist that I think is going to cause people to want to stay in our store and buy stuff. And I'm going to play from my personal Spotify account, or even if the company has a Spotify account, I'm going to play that playlist in the store." That is considered copyright infringement.
Mhm.
So there are subscriptions out there that companies can pay into so that they can play modern day songs or songs that have removed bad language or something like that. So but for garage sales and yard sales, you can play your own Spotify list because you're not considered a business unless you're doing it more than 3 times a year, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
I feel like I'm going into that really fast because we've talked about it so much.
Yeah, but so unfortunately, if you ever wanted to meet one of the surviving Beatles, you know, you can't just play their stuff in your yard and Paul will magically show up and go, "I'm suing you." You know.
No, and I don't think he owns the Beatles music
I
anymore.
don't know. I people would know who Paul is. They wouldn't know who the actual attorney is. I don't know their name either, so
Um, so yeah, the Muzak became like this generic hold music, elevator music, shopping music, but it's upbeat. It's very non-confrontational. Um, and actually I was listening to it and I was like, yeah, this actually does put me in a better mood. Like I would just imagine like if someone has road rage, just put on some music in the car, everything's fine. Like you're
yeah, I'm realizing most of I think because of my hearing condition, much of what I listen to has no lyrics
yes,
because
yeah.
it gets really frustrating. Like I don't know, like people love this or that artist and that song and that album because oh, it speaks to me, and I'm kind of like I don't know. At, like you know how you sing along with the song in the car, and thank God no one's around because we all we all sound like Eddie Vedder, because like no one knows what the hell this lyric is, but we're all feeling it, we're all there. But yeah, I'm finding that, and I wonder if that's kind of an aspect of Muzak where that's part of the effect is like because there are no lyrics,
You can make up
there's
your own.
no. I'm sorry.
You can make up your own lyrics.
Well, there's no surface for confrontation,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, and also what you just said a couple of years ago, I did a road trip and listening to some of my favorite songs in the car, full blast. It's a solo trip. And that's when I realized I don't know any of the lyrics to any of my favorite songs.
Right.
And you know what? It didn't matter.
What's great is that you love this song for years and you've been singing along to it, and it's kind of developed some meaning for you. And then at some point you encounter the actual lyrics and it's not even close. And you're like, oh, do I do I respect the artist's wishes or is this mine now?
Yeah.
This is more meaningful. So don't I get a cut of that fourth of a penny that the artist gets from Spotify? What about
Oh,
me?
yeah. Yeah. Well, so and here's the thing, talking about, hey, you can build this environment that gets people want to shop and want to buy. And it's gonna be it's gonna be a slower tempo, but still non-confrontational song. I did find a blog post from a company that They sell a subscription to music streaming for stores, but they said the leading genres that encourage customers to linger and to eventually purchase. Number one is pop music. Again, it's bouncy, it's fun, and it talks to a broad audience. Number two is rock music. Now, even though I'm going to say all these, you have to take it with a grain of salt because, like, I was listening to one of my favorite bands of all time, Guns N' Roses. I was listening to one of their songs and I'm going, you would not get away with playing that at the grocery store. But so, you're looking at classic rock, and I'm going to say like maybe like yacht rock. That type of music does
For
really
sure.
well with shopping. And also, if people haven't don't know what I'm talking about with yacht rock, look it up. It's great. Kenny Loggins, he was there. Um, Number three is it's more of a niche appeal, but it's alternative music, and that's going to be with younger, trend conscious shoppers. And then number four on this list is classical music. And as I was doing this research, and I was like, classical music, bleh, thumbs down, boo. But yeah, think about it. If an estate sell, let's say they had a lot of antiques that they were trying to move, and they were playing music that
Hmm.
kind of matched what they had out.
Hmm.
I'm like, if I saw like a baby grand piano, a harp, like like I don't know what you find all kinds of weird stuff at estate sales. But I'm like, if that was playing in the background, I'm going, oh, maybe that would put me in the frame of mind of going, you know what? I am missing a harp from my house.
Yeah, that has been what that's what we need. Another one of these. But no, I
Yes.
think you're right. Like in that kind of scenario, that music might lend an air of legitimacy
Yeah.
to what you're selling.
Yeah.
So if you do have a lot of band T-shirts and vinyls, then yeah, you go ahead and like type in some Nirvana or something like that, and people are in the mood for that stuff.
Or if you had a bunch of mid-century modern things, then I'd probably pipe in Muzak. And because it kind of sets you in that like, oh, I'm gonna go shopping at the grocery store in the 60s in my heels and my makeup. And I'm like, today you're lucky I'm wearing flip-flops and a bra. Like I'm
Yeah,
not doing all that.
I might wear my onesie on the plane. What are you talking about?
um, but it's such an interesting concept of like how music can impact us with actually wanting to shop and wanting to look at stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so from this blog that I found, it said 59% of younger customers say they've stayed in a physical place of business longer because they were enjoying the music.
Hmm.
And I think I've shared this story before on the podcast. There was a new grocery store opening up near my house, near my neighborhood. Great Asian grocery store. I went there yesterday. Made a really good chop suey for dinner. It was really good. And my husband and I went over there for their grand opening to go check it out. And he and I are just like roaming the aisles. It's fun to see what kind of stuff they have there. And I looked over at him, and he and I are both kind of like dancing. And we're we're probably standing 20 feet apart from each other, right? And we're kinda
Yeah.
standing there, like, bouncing up and down, dancing, and that's when we realized the song that was playing,
Oh,
which
no.
still had all of the bad words in it, was music that you would hear at the club. And I'm guessing that somebody was like, "Oh, just put on whatever playlist," and didn't know what was actually playing. Now when I go, they're playing music. They're not playing that.
Oh, man, that's disappointing.
I know, but he and I looked at each other going, "Is this our grocery store now? Is this where we come all the time? Because it's lit." Like, it was
You're like,
awesome.
"This will save us so much money. We don't have to do bottle service. You can
Well,
just buy a Dr. Pepper.
well, it's
Put
also one
your
of
pants
those
here."
it's also one of those, grocery stores where they have, the live aquarium, like, you can go pick out your fish, your lobster, your crabs, like, everything's alive. And then in the very back, they have a food court, which is so smart yet dangerous because if you go in shopping hungry and then you smell the food that's getting cooked in the back, like, you just buy everything. Like, "Oh, that smells so good. Yes, I do need 6 pounds of this rice.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to bring up the topic of music again and encourage people to like really think about, and whether you're hosting a secondhand sale or a kid's birthday party, or I actually saw this too. Some companies pipe in music in the afternoon, like around 2 or 3 after that lunch lull, to get people energized to finish out the day.
Mm.
So I remember whenever I used to work in retail, we had CDs that we would sell, and we could only play the CD music. So I
Okay.
heard the same 14
Oh, that's
songs
a bummer.
days on end.
Could you tell us any of the tracks from that?
No, no,
That's
but
okay. You worked hard to push that down.
yeah, I did a lot of therapy on it. However, I would say that whenever we had people come in and they're going, "Ah, I really like this music." And I'm like, then that's what your point go, hey, we're selling. You could buy a CD here. The CDs flew. Like it was like, old timey Christmas music or whatever. Um, but I don't think people realize, those of us that worked in the store, we had listened to it nonstop.
Oh, yeah,
For
you hate
it
it
was
with every fiber of your being.
it was our Guantanamo Bay. Like it was
Yeah.
so bad. And but we could get away with playing the music across the speaker system because we were also selling the CDs, and that's how you get past the copyright stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
now you got me wondering if Julie, like, what might be the appropriate music for you to move your stuff? So, if you were having a yard sale, and given the stuff that you're likely to put out on those tables, what would be the musical theme that would be the most appropriate to get people interested in that stuff?
It would have to be something so eclectic and cool and like
Of course,
vibey. Yeah.
and humble. Don't forget
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Uh, I do love this song. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look it up so I don't get it wrong. Okay, I was right, but it's by Hall and Oates, "Rich Girl."
No.
Oh, I love that song, and, like, whenever it comes on the radio, or if I happen to catch it somewhere, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta stop, I gotta listen to it." But part of me is like, I do a lot of stuff in my life just because it's funny. Like, everything I do is pretty much a joke, and I just can't take anything seriously these days. I think it's because I'm getting older, and, like, the amount of crap I give just goes out the window. I don't care anymore. And I think it would be so funny if I had a yard sale that I would just play Rich Girl on a loop.
They're pretty mean.
Plus, I mean, I live in I'm gonna say an affluent neighborhood. I'm like, if it's just funny. It's just funny.
I like to just rub your faces in it. I find it amuses me.
Well, so one of the lines in this song is you can rely on your old man's money.
Mm,
Maybe I should blare that and go into the more affluent neighborhoods and
right.
roll down my windows and see if I can find estate sales and just blare that music and make them
There's the
feel bad.
thing. You find the song that will induce somebody to part with their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what would be the theme for your yard sale?
Oh, ska. Yeah, because
Hmm.
everything I have is checkered. So, and I'd encourage people to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, So,
I wonder how many ska fans you'd get to your sale.
not a lot.
That's awesome.
Well, that's really troubling to think that we're so easily swayed. Uh, I'd encourage you to look up. So Muzak is interesting. Look up vaporwave as
Okay.
a genre. It's modern artists that are recreating the kind of spirit of like proto yacht rock.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'll have to give it a listen. And part of like the music that I like to listen to, I don't know if it would be appropriate for like selling stuff.
Well,
That
like
sounds
death metal,
horrible.
is that your thing?
Like I'm like listening to thrash metal.
Right.
That's not my jam. But like
Right.
I like EDM house music.
Okay.
And I'm like, is that the right vibe for a cell? I don't know.
I don't know.
But also as the day goes on and it's hot outside, I'm like, you know what? I'm playing my own music now. I don't care.
Yeah.
Come buy my stuff. And it could be this would be really good to get your and see now I'm just coming up with evil plots. Play like blare your music so loud that you can tell your neighbors, I'll turn it down for every single thing you buy. So like, hey, or donate. Give me $1 and I'll turn it down a notch.
That's troubling because this thing goes to 11. So you gotta.
Yeah. It's also one of those things like, is that blackmail? Is it like I feel like that would probably be illegal. I don't know if somebody would call the cops.
I feel like you'd only get a noise complaint if it's like the wrong artist. You know, if you're like, hey, I'm feeling that. I don't know. Even if it's music I like, if somebody else is playing it too loud, like in the neighborhood, not cool.
They're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong.
If and that here's the thing, if I can hear it,
Yeah.
you know,
That is that is quite true. All right. Well, that's what I had for this week, Jake, is embrace the Muzak folks. And yeah, next time you go into a store, they are screwing with your brain to make you buy more. Fight the man and always shop with coupons.
you take a tinfoil hat with you.
Yes. That's what I got for this week.
Bye, Julie.
Bye.